Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for April 2026. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your monthly reading for April. And let me just make a big, bold, direct statement. April is a big month, and we have officially moved into Aries season. Let's just say the word intense will be the key word to describe this month ahead. It will also be seasoned with a sprinkle of ambition, focus, passion, and that go-getting spirit will fire you up to be fully engaged with your goals. Because, of course, Aries is ruled by Mars, planet of action, which can typically be a destructor or a builder, and it all depends on your personal mindset and, of course, other planetary interactions. But you will be locked on to your vision of your future, and you will take great strides forward. It will be full steam ahead. April will encourage you to put your personal needs and your goals and really focus on your identity. It will be at the forefront and center of your mind. And whereas Pisces season was all about being in the flow, taking time to ruminate and connect, Aries season pushes past the noise and it gets stuff done. No time for nonsense, no time for time wasters. All patterns are revolutionized or discarded. Move out of the way because, of course, you are coming through. And it's been challenging and you've been managing things, but this month it offers you a lifeline. I think they want that card. It has to pop out. Yeah. This month will actually offer you a lifeline solution to break on through and get back on course. Now, this period is all about being direct and to the point. Action and consistency is the key to your success, and you are going to be unstoppable in your pursuit of it, especially since your 6th house is influencing you there as well. Now, Aries season, it brings out the passionate poet in us all, the ardent lover, the daring explorer, the curious wanderer, and the eternal student, voracious for knowledge. Whatever aspect you are tapping into, it will certainly lead you on a quest for something unique, alternative, and spontaneous. And although things are very challenging right now, April actually nudges you to discover the magic or actually be the magic, to look at areas where you feel you need to break free, to be adventurous and reawaken your playful inner child. Now, this is no ordinary month. In fact, this is no ordinary year. You probably can see that already. 2026 is a karmic year of awakening. And with Uranus making some big moves and some loud aspects, let's put it that way, you might just have a rude awakening and radically gear shift away from things you have tolerated for way too long. The 25th of March actually used to be the start of the year until it was changed in 1752. So perhaps that fresh, rejuvenated spirit that is calling to us this month is still ingrained in us from a time before. But this is actually a time to get moving ahead and look to future plans. April is also a time when nature itself bursts into bloom. Looking at that card, you can definitely see that you're going to be doing that this month on a personal level, but also in terms of your projects, your success, and developments for your future. Now, of course, nature, as I said, it bursts into bloom, and the animal kingdom actually delivers or hatches things to life during this time. Nature takes first steps on life journeys. And of course, you'll be flirting like pollination. You know, we need that. Bees flirt with different flowers to pollinate. And of course, animals find love suitors during this time as well. It's a hive of activity, and sparks of hope rekindle for the year ahead. And so too will you hatch plans and deliver on deadlines and take first steps and flirt with life and people and reignite that spark, reignite yourself from that slumber to reach for something more, to be more spontaneous and surprise yourself and be rewarded with abundance and success. Now, they want that card as well. It flipped, so I'm going to give that to you. That's a lot of energy that's come out there for your overarching energy, but my guides wanted you to have those cards, so it is what it is there. Let me just get the rest of your cards before I address what's going on there for you. But you know, these are aspects of Aries season that are super positive. And of course, as always, as you know, there are opposites. And in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it, Mars is a fire starter, okay? It will test patience, egos ignited. Backing down may not be an option. And I did mention in my yearly forecast that we would see tensions escalate during this very period, reaching a critical climax. Now, personally, I'm a little bit suspicious, and I can see, looking at the energy, you're suspicious of something here as well, but we'll get to that in a moment. But I'm a little bit suspicious of Venus entering Gemini on the 24th of April, giving a temporary pause or grounding to conflicts. Venus wants to love, it wants to repair, it wants to find a solution, but then Uranus, planet of chaos and shocking plot twists, might be considered an ignition point when it moves into air sign Gemini the very next day. This combination could do the world dirty in some way by revealing cold, calculated trickster energy, so we might witness a Trojan horse. And valuable lesson will be learnt as karma will be instant. Now, Uranus moving into Gemini is actually huge. It's a really big deal. The last time this happened was 1941, right through to 1949. Certainly a historical time that taught the world valuable lessons that, unfortunately, some have seemed to have forgotten and might be destined to repeat if sense is not restored, okay? But Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius right up until 2043. That's in your sign, because of course Pluto is your ruler there. So you're going to witness a lot of major changes going on in your personal life that will lead to something greater later on, but you're going to have to adapt and navigate. I mean, Scorpio, you're so fed up of having to adapt and navigate, but what's on the other side of this personally for you is super positive. But on a global scale, we might witness something never seen before that revolutionizes or transforms humanity in some way. Communication infrastructure could also suffer briefly in April. Air travel too. I actually see Uranus in Gemini as a fracture in long-term structures that could ground to a halt in order to emerge later with something of an upgrade or a change that really will be later on, okay? And significant seismic activity will also increase as we approach the full moon in your sign, my beautiful Scorpio. I mean, your 12th house is influencing you during this time, so big, deep thoughts, being extra sensitive there as well. You're going to really be quite serious in your thoughts as well. So don't forget to have fun or, you know, get out there and be sociable, because, you know, your 12th house can make you feel a little bit like emotionally sensitive or fluctuating in moods. Let's put it that way. So that tower can be, you may get a little bit cranky at the end of the month, maybe gets a little bit too peoply there. So you need to kind of like ground and isolate for a little while. But you know, the other images that I have seen globally for this period, and it doesn't have to be this period, it could be that certain set of events trigger what is about to occur that I see. But I see a crown passing from one to another, okay? I'm not saying it's to do with anybody in particular, but I'm just telling you what the visions occurred that came out when I was scrying in the water for April. So I'm just telling you what I see, okay? And we'll see how things unfold from there. When you're scrying, you can't ask questions. You have to just witness the images that you are allowed to see, okay? So I'm just telling you what I see there. Also a worldwide singer leaving the earthbound position. They will be celebrated for their talent. Now, I do see someone specific for that, but I'm not going to mention their name because I don't like to influence things like that, okay, by being so direct with a person's name. So I'm just going to leave that there, okay? I feel that's probably the best way to conduct on that energy, but we will witness that. But on a personal level, because as I said, there's so many layers to energy and frequencies. Despite the challenging frequencies, April will actually be your springboard month to reach more, you know, to accelerate in plans or advance higher in your expectations. And right now in the water, I actually see a hand reaching for something more or reaching higher. That's definitely the vibe that you're on right now. It is the gateway to your future, and you are ready for whatever this is. You're so ready, okay? Now, Six of Swords is like an outcome energy, which means you're passing a test or you're protected and directed at this time. If you're literally going to have a test this month, whether it's a driving test or you've been doing some higher education, some learning there, or if you're like applying for something that requires you being judged or, you know, it being validated, you pass. Okay, you really seal the deal on it. That's a great card to get there. I also feel a lot of you are coming out of challenging times. Yeah, look at that. We've got the alien there. Okay, now this is the equivalent of the hermit. As I said, I feel a lot of you could be this energy of like feeling a bit cranky, needing to withdraw. I really felt that energy for you at the end of the month. And we got King of Pentacles energy. So I'm loving that because that means a lot more abundance coming your way. It also means that, you know, you're feeling stable, secure, you're being financially very savvy, you're locked on to perhaps even finding solutions to finances, or you're going to be flush financially at the end of April there or in April. So let's get to your first card, because number 5 is going to be a number synchronicity that you're going to see everywhere you go. 5 on its own. So just be mindful. 5 normally is about having faith, leaning into your belief system, and also it is about like looking at structures in your life that are routine, that feel a little bit bold, daring, different, but also dull, boring, and needing some change, okay? Because I feel like you're doing something monumental right now. A lot of you have been spreading yourself too thin, that's for sure. You've been doing so much. You felt pushed and pulled in many different directions, but I feel like there is some sort of serious aspect. King of Pentacles is always very serious, okay? And it can be that there is a need for a little bit more adventure or a little bit more fun or spontaneity. So even though you're doing something bold, daring, and different to transform your future, feel secure, and financially kind of like ground yourself and work towards like promotions or reach higher in your career, for example, this is like a high-ranking position. Can be that, you know, you're trying to build your reputation or build something for you and your family for your future. And this could be financial, but it could also be like you're building through ambition. So you invest in who you are, what you're about, you're honing skills, and you're being the best at what you do. Yes, you're trailblazing. You're actually doing something bold, daring, and different, but at the same time, it requires routine. It requires showing up for yourself every single day, consistency, and being serious and locked on. And you face many tests to get ahead, maybe even more tests than others. You know, some people have had privilege, or they've had a fast track, or they've had like sheer luck, and you may feel that you've come to this lifetime and you're like, where's the luck at, Baba? Because I am just powering on through. You have to work for every single thing that materializes in your life. You're a warrior. You've been through some stuff, okay? But I feel like this is a time to recognize that perhaps there's an alternative path emerging for you where you can plot twist or be a little bit more adventurous with plans, because this card, you know, it says adventure there. So I feel like you're going to try and have fun with something that maybe even seriously is important to you. You know, we can be serious about something, but we don't have to crush it with this kind of like serious feeling, if that makes sense. Like if you're trying to, like, I don't know, I'm just going to highlight, like, if you're trying to be like a famous actor or actress or singer, musician, artist, or, you know, create because you are a creator, whatever it is, you're serious about that, but you need to come back to the very core center of why you're doing something to make sure you still love what you do, right? So it's like remember when you started, you were having fun with it. You're like, let's see how this goes. You really want it to work out. You're excited about it. Now you may be reaching a certain level where you're like, oh, things are going nicely. Things are going okay. I need to hold on to this. I need to be serious. I need to double down. I need to do more. I need to, feel that pressure. I feel, this comes off the back of last season, Pisces season, which is about simplifying, because the tower can indicate a lot of pressure there, and you're trying to transform something and it creates a lot of pressure. Don't burn yourself out. Remember and come back to your center of why you started what you started, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a career endeavor, whether it's a pathway. For some of you, it can be that you're trying to make some monumental changes. Six of Swords can be that you're trying to actually move. It could be that you're trying to relocate, and suddenly something that started as like adventure or exciting, like let's see where this goes, let's see where we end up, let's just go for it, has suddenly become really heavy. Like, oh my gosh, it's so stressful. Why does it have to be full of plot twists? It's something that needs to be enjoyed. So I feel that's like a main message for you, because the more you enjoy something, looking at the energy, the more it's actually going to do very well for you. Okay, so, and that's in everything that you do. You're going to have a step up, a ladder. Ooh, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Sorry, the message of the Trojan horse just came out again, okay? And I actually just saw, because I didn't realize that this King of Pentacles is actually sitting on a horse, okay? And because you got the Tower, it can be that for some of you, you're suspicious of something or you don't trust something. I would always say, listen to your instincts. Okay, vibes never lie. And if something seems too good to be true, trust that vibe, okay? And I'm not seeing anything in particular here. I'm not seeing like a relationship or, an endeavor here. I'm just looking at this Two of Swords. I mean, the Lover's card can be choice, and you've got Two of Swords, so it can be that you're in two minds about something during this time. Look for something solid and true. Maybe even get advice on something if you feel a little bit fractured in your decision. Your gut instinct kind of knows the way. But again, because I got that Trojan horse message there, I mean, there's nothing negative in this card. A King of Pentacles is super, super positive. I mean, this figure has got like the Midas touch. They're like standing on gold. So some of you could literally be looking at precious metals or ways to invest in your finances. For some of you, you may even feel like certain pathways. I mean, there's a lot of people shouting into the void about finances, about the economy, about the world, and everything like that. You may be looking at certain aspects of that, like you can see a chess move that perhaps they can't see right now, and you're like, maybe that's a Trojan horse. Like, for example, if you're ever doing an experiment, because I'm seeing this in the water right now, I'm not sure why or how this is message coming out and what it really pertains to, but I got to give you what I see and what's coming through here. But, if you want, because I'm just seeing like rats in a maze. It's like if you want a certain outcome, you create something over here that seems like it's a really great idea. So everyone flocks to that, or all the kind of like rats in the maze flock to that. And it got the desired outcome. It was something that perhaps only one person could see the chess move and said, I'm not following the crowd. I'm not doing what everybody else is doing, because I feel like it's... I don't want to say a trap, because it's not that energy, okay? I'm not feeling that. It's almost like you don't trust something that everybody else is doing right now, because you just feel like you see something or you feel something else and you're trusting your vibes on it, okay? So I don't know what that is. So I'm just going to give you that message and leave that there and ground the energy and move away from the energy, because I'm not here to promote fear or to make anyone feel paranoid. I want you to be aware with that Six of Swords, it feels like a test, right? And I feel like you pass the test because you end up protected and secure in your outcome based on your decisions, okay? So let me just put it like this. Some of you, you may be in like a job where maybe the IT department sends out like a phishing email to everybody, okay? And it's really tempting to click on that link because it feels legit. So lots of people are clicking the link, and it's a test that people don't realize. But you may be like, something's off about this. Really weird kind of unsolicited email. Looks kind of legit, but I'm going to sit on this. I'm going to ruminate. I'm going to think about it. I'm not going to do anything with it. May investigate it. And then you're like, nah, I'm not going to do that, actually, right? I'm just going to do what I feel is best for the situation. And then you pass the test because everyone else rushed to this link and clicked it and like you didn't. And you're like the star pupil or you're the star worker who was like, no, something was fishy. I said, no, you don't trust it. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it like that and move on. Okay. Now, this is your first card. Remember, number 5 is going to be important for you. It's going to contain a message. Every time you see 5 on its own, look into the message of it. But it says here, adventure, your life has a master plan that is constantly evolving. And I feel like you've been feeling that for the last couple of years. Things have just been constantly evolving and you've had to adapt and adjust. You've just been constantly in a state of adjustment for the last couple of years. And a lot of you are like fed up of it, but it's teaching you to be a little bit more adventurous or to be a little bit more flexible to see where things go. But it says, fill your life with adventure, focused on new experiences rather than material things. Now, of course, you do have material things card right here. So it means that, of course, we need money to pay bills. But there could be something here that you have as an idea that will yield financial results in your future. But it's like you're not doing it for the money. It feels very much like see where things go. That's the main message that came out earlier. But it says here, by exploring new territories, we challenge ourselves to see the world with fresh eyes and open minds. The expansion of your heart and soul is what truly matters. Now, I always say this, we came to this lifetime to experience and evolve. And of course, there's lots of structures in this, life that we are living right now that requires us showing up consistently every day to pay bills, have a structure, have a plan, and feel secure, and just get into a rhythm where we know where we're at, okay? But also make sure you have the balance of that because you have the Justice card. It's like, yes, there's things you got to do, but your heart is yearning for something right now, and it depends on the decisions you make. It almost feels like you can go off and move into uncharted territory with that 6 of Swords. You don't know what's on the other side of that 6 of Swords, but you are being guided towards something that's new, exciting. You may expect turbulent times because 6 of Swords means you've been through something, a rite of passage or a test that has changed your thinking, that has made you expect troubles ahead because you've been through so much that is challenging. But there's something new here that is transitioning you towards something greater. And you may feel hesitant. You may feel a little bit like, it's a plot twist, that's for sure, with that Tower. You may surprise yourself with this, but there's also a tried and tested kind of path where you feel like it's a little bit dull, boring, been there, done that. So it feels very much with that Hermit energy, you're going to be enlightened as to which one is calling you the most. And I would say that you can have the best of both worlds, just don't lose yourself in the seriousness of the structure of life. Okay, so yeah, that's a main message for you at this time. Your first card there is the Lover's card, so big choice month. So something is coming up here that you're going to have to decide on. There's like a sitting on the fence energy at the beginning of the month. So 12th house is the deepest part of your chart. So you may feel more sensitive than usual to the undercurrent of life, of people, of the world, but also to your situation. And if you're having to make a decision, you are literally investigating all pathways and you need to check in to see how you feel about it. Now, the heart knows the way. I always say this, the heart knows the way, but I feel whatever this is, it requires logic as well. Because you have the Justice card there. It means you're weighing up head and heart. You're not just allowing the heart to decide because your brain is activated there as well. And I feel with that 2 of Swords, it's like envisage both pathways and where they lead to and whether you can incorporate both, which I feel like you can, okay? And I feel it leads to you having adventure, but also being secure and serious, because this is the best of both worlds, trying things out. You're definitely trying something out right now and you don't know where it's going to go, but I can tell you it's going to be a raging success, whatever it is. Now, on a more practical level, because your 6th house is practical, it's going to be governing you as well. That's about daily routines. It's about schedules. It's about focusing on work, paying bills, saving plans, budgets, repayment plans, 401ks, your responsibilities. And the end of the month, you are locked onto responsibility, but you may have access to more money or your financial strategy really pays off and you manage to save a little bit more than you expected. This is a card of attracting more wealth as well. So I feel there's a very abundant period here for you. And it can be that you are literally, looking around for better deals with that Two of Swords. It's like you may not be going to the tried and tested places. You may be trying alternatives at this time in order to save more money or have a better yield on things. But I want to address anyone who's currently out of work, because the Two of Swords and the Justice card, it can indicate that you feel in limbo regarding, the working environment. It feels like you've taken a break. You feel very uncertain. You may not have taken a break on purpose. The Tower is there. Some of you may be shocked. Maybe it was easier to get jobs in the past, or some of you have been made redundant there. I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. This card, the Lover's card, can indicate that, you yearn to do something that you love. But right now, I feel a lot of you may also feel this practical need to just get making money, okay? So I'm getting a lot of things coming in here. And this could be, partnerships. So for some of you, it can be that whatever it is you do or you have a skill set in, you may look at the alternative to make some money in the meantime, like setting up your own business, using your knowledge to perhaps create a course of learning or write a book on whatever it is that you do, and then put it out there to attract some sort of passive income once you've done it. For some of you, it could also be that you are going to take a trial in an area of perhaps, it's not really your expertise, but you can migrate your skill set. I definitely see an opportunity coming in. You will sign a contract. The Two of Swords, it can also indicate that some of you will be doing more than one thing. Okay, so it could be a temporary role, seasonal role to get you through financially. Maybe you're doing that already because this is in your protagonist energy. But with that Justice card, there is a solid contract coming on in. For some of you, you may actually be offered like a long-term position at where you feel you only wanted to stay temporarily, okay? So if you're taking a seasonal role or a bridging gap opportunity, they like you so much that they want to offer you something long-term, something permanent. And this may be something that you'll be sitting on the fence with right now, but there will be an alternative opportunity that comes on in. Now, you're going to do what you got to do in this moment. So some of you are going to actually take the long-term position. And because if you see that Two of Swords, there's a wolf there in the back. So there is this desire to be independent or have more independence in the working environment. So I do see a lot of you running your own business or having ideas to do that at this time. It's going to be very lucrative for you long term, especially if you're partnering up with social media platforms, getting yourself out there, being more visible with your skill set. But also, if you're taking something temporary to fund your dream, that's also going to be very lucrative. You may actually have to let down the position that you're kind of like using as a temporary springboard because there's something better coming on in, or something that you are gifted and talented in really flourishes and takes off, and you're seen for something. So that's brilliant. But also, I feel, there could be, as you're doing something that is logical and just getting you on by to pay the bills, suddenly an opportunity that you absolutely love comes on in, and it's got the right money attached to it. And you may have to have like a moment where you're given your notice. Some of you may even be doing two things, right, is what I'm seeing there. But I feel there's like a temporary kind of position or some sort of probation period, because this is a test period, right, where you just prove what you're about. I mean, you're the best person for the job is what I'm seeing there, and you become someone permanent in this role. And it's a role that you would love. It's a serious role, something that you're ambitious about, something that is practical as well, something that yields a lot of success. It requires your intelligence. You're really gifted, and you seal the deal. A lot of you, it may require you being a little bit more independent or working on your own in some way, or in a very high-ranking position where you're managing or you're doing something where you feel really proud of yourself anyway. That's what I'm seeing there. But there could be, because this Ace of Pentacles means something new's coming on in, but what I see here is that you may need to leave something that you take on initially. So, even if you take on like a role and you're like, okay, this seems like it's a great opportunity, it feels like pretty much straight away something else comes along that you think it's even better, okay? Because I just see a Ten of Swords like a fracture of something, like, okay, that's enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm moving on to something new because something new has arrived here. Okay, so if you're searching for an opportunity or putting your resume out there, I see like two roles coming along. One that you may even start and you feel initially like, not so sure about this, but I'm doing what I got to do to pay the bills. Then suddenly something else comes along that is just better, and you're fully invested, and it's something that grows into something spectacular. And it shocks you. It just comes out of the blue, and it requires you to really think quick and readjust real quick. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that, but I see that you're going to have choices, but they just don't come in a smooth fashion. And I hate it when it's like that. Like if you get a role and you're like, that'd be nice. Oh, this other role's come along as well. Which one do I want? I want this one. I'm going to say no to that one. It just feels like it doesn't come like that. It feels like it's messy. It comes like, oh, this is an opportunity. There's nothing else right now. Okay, well, you know what? I'll take this one because that says it is. And then you're kind of easing your way into it, learning procedures, doing what you got to do. And then suddenly this other one comes up and it's like, surprise. And you're like, oh my gosh, now I've got to go and like have that conversation where I'm like, actually, I'm leaving, go for the interview process. It just feels like you're going to have to manage something. It may be chaotic, but you get the best outcome. Okay. You pass the test, you pass all the interviews, and you will be tested. Some of you may actually get a test to do this, but whatever it is, I feel like you really are a force to be reckoned with. You break a contract or you move away from something and you're free to explore and move on and advance. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Congratulations if that is you. Okay. Now moving on to like a more kind of like overarching energy of the month. There's a lot of travel going on here, and it may be spontaneous travel for some of you. If you're retired, I feel with that Ten of Swords, the rhythm of retirement may have shocked you. Okay, it can be that, you are busy doing your projects and really in bloom. You're having a lot of thoughts there. And some of these thoughts can be critical. You can be looking back at how you kind of like derailed yourself with doubt, or you kind of, didn't believe in yourself or have compassion with yourself. But now as you develop and you mature into who you are and have more time to think about you, you're having a lot of epiphanies. And it's almost like, a death of ego moment where you are really comfortable with who you are. And I do see a lot of travel going on. For some of you, there will be a spontaneous, travel there, but I see a trip for you. And I also see a lot of you may go independently traveling there as well. And because we have a tower there, I would just say with travel at this moment in time, make sure you have travel insurance, okay? Because it will protect you, because I see protection energy there. A lot of you are going on an adventure or even like doing things that you've always wanted to do that you've never done before. And it just kind of informs you. And also I feel a lot of you, you may like realize that you were born to stand out in some way. You make a difference. So you may actually join a group or get involved in the community where you make an impact, because it feels like something doesn't stop there. It develops. And this could be a hobby, or it could be a way of life that develops for you. And for some of you, if you're growing your own herbs and food right now, I actually see that there may be some early developments in some crops as well that surprises you. And I feel like you really are green-fingered at this time, and you nurture something and it grows really big. Okay, and it's because you put a lot of effort into that. So I'm going to leave that there. Financially as well. 401ks, King of Pentacles indicates security. Six of Swords, some of you may be looking at properties abroad, or maybe spending your time in two places if you're retired. Okay, and that could be with family, but also in a place where you love being independent. So I feel like you split your time between the two. And I will leave that there. Also, if you're learning to drive, because some of you may be learning to drive, doesn't matter whether you're retired or not. If you're learning to drive, I definitely see here that you passed the test. Congratulations if that is you. And if you're learning through education, again, there's a test here, you pass, and actually people are super impressed. It helps you advance. A lot of you are learning new skills at this time in order to access higher pay grades. I definitely see some sort of promotion. If you are in a career right now, there's money coming in or being made available. I feel like you worked really hard for it, so it feels like you're staircasing. It's a natural progression there. And with the alien there, for some of you, it can be that, someone who's in a position of authority relies on you for something, and that's why things start to develop there. And there may be a process that shocks you, like your boss could come to you and say, yeah, you know what? There hasn't been much money in the budget, so things have been stagnated for a while, but now we've got some progression opportunities, and we really want to really look at you for that. And for some of you, there's a very unsure energy, like, I'm not sure if I want to do that. So there may be something about this role where you're like, I'm not sure. Okay. But you can negotiate a better deal. Remember, it can be on your terms because you are an asset, but be diplomatic in your approach to that. And I feel like you will, negotiate that better deal. But big decision month for you. Two of Swords can indicate there is a lot going on right now, so you could spread yourself thin. But I would say Two of Swords normally is about you doing something totally different. I'm not sure what this is. A lot of you, it feels uncertain. It's almost like you're reprogramming or you're searching for new landscapes, new environments, new friendships, new pathways, new projects, new business ideas. Whatever it is, it feels like something is formulating right now and you're unsure about it. Two of Swords is an energy of feeling like right now you need a break. You are overworked, overwhelmed, your heart is yearning for something, and a lot of you it's adventure or to be more spontaneous. I feel a major message has been coming up in your readings recently where you feel like there has been this transformation of the old self and an old way of living, and it's kind of like trying to remember who you are, a rekindle self there. And that Two of Swords energy, it can indicate that you need peace of mind right now to protect your inner peace, to limit distractions, because you're locked onto something that's important and it feels like it's different, it feels like it's developing, it feels like, you know, it's something that you're learning as you go, and it feels like you want to filter out the noise. There's a pathway, there's certain steps that you need to take in order to get to where you want to go. Now, this is also very strong 12th house energy. So that means you're very cerebral at this time. It means that you're very sensitive. It means that you're connecting to your higher wisdom. I feel like you're developing a deeper sense of awareness about yourself, receiving important information about the next steps on your path. But you may need to withdraw to focus on something that's important to you at this time and recharge your batteries. So with that Two of Swords, I also get this energy of like adapting to change or adapting to perhaps other people's plans or adapting to plans at this moment in time. I feel like you're factoring other people in, wanting to be a little bit more involved in the community, to be a little bit more sociable or be more connected to the people you care about. I also feel these two cards indicate that you're making small, balanced investments in projects or relationships so that you can see how things are developing or unfolding. Who is investing in you? You know, what you're doing right now, is it making an impact? And if the answer is no, you're recalibrating your investment. This is all about balance there. And we also have Justice. Now, the Justice card can indicate you're doing what is right for you, but you're not like canceling other people out. You're factoring other people in your decisions at this time. And the Justice card, it can also indicate that there's a karma boomerang coming back around here. Hope you can see that beautiful sun at the top there. So it means that you're making some decisions that are going to have a massive happy outcome. You're diversifying, branching out, expanding your reach in some way. And, you know, I'm also seeing a question mark with a letter C. So it could be there's a big question over something right now. C could be relevant, either an initial or, you know, the beginning of the name of a country or a place. C, I'm just seeing a question mark and C. I mean, it could also be that if you're given like multiple choice and C is on your A, B, C kind of list of options, it could be that C is the more viable option. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to leave it like that because it could be a questionnaire, for example. But I feel like you're making the right decision on something. Just go inwards for answers and don't allow yourself to be influenced by outside parties. Yes, soundboard, ask people their opinion, but ultimately your higher self knows the way, and I feel that's important. Now, of course, the Justice card is connected to your 6th house. It basically means that you are doing what you got to do, and it may feel dull and boring at some points, but you're keeping your life running smoothly. Yes, there's a karma boomerang coming in here. Yes, there is something you will celebrate, and there's a lot of success. The sun is happiness, joy. Maybe something that you have in motion is developing and going to be blossoming or in bloom there for you. And I feel also with that Justice energy, on a practical level, there's a lot of documentation or critical tasks that you need to look at, like legal paperwork, or maybe there's legal steps, or you are applying for something, or you're thinking about doing something where, you know, you have to make a decision what is right for you. Now, there may be a decision that you think, okay, that is something I would love to happen, but this is something I need to happen. And those may be your choices at this time. And I feel you still get the best of both worlds. Maybe that's why C is available. Maybe the last minute there's a plot twist where another option becomes available and you're like, oh, that's the one that incorporates everything. So you get the best of both worlds. But the Justice card, I would say that you're looking at contracts at this time, legalities, policies. So it could be that you're looking at home insurance that needs to be renewed, or business insurance, or travel insurance for some of you, because there's definitely travel energy here. For some of you, if you're purchasing a car, it could be that you're unsure about something. Okay, so take a second look, go a little bit deeper, investigate further. Justice card indicates you find the right one for you that is proper, that is, you know, legally secure as well. I'm not sure why that's coming through there, but it is. Now, the Justice card can also indicate some of you may be called for duty service at this time, jury service, to be on a panel for a court case. So some of you could be called for that. With the Two of Swords, you may be feeling a little bit uncertain because we've got the Lovers card there. So it can mean with that Ten of Swords there that you have to cancel that and they'll give you another date. Now, that other date, looking at the energy, yeah, okay, the other date is okay for you, and you're going to be like okay with that. So that's coming through. A lot of people are going to get this jury service letter come through, so that is something to be mindful of. You'll have to factor that into your plans. But the Justice card is also an energy of making some adjustments for something that perhaps is unforeseen. And Uranus is going to cause a little bit of havoc this period, okay? And Two of Swords, normally there's a figure on the Two of Swords that is blindfolded. So it can indicate that intuitively you're aware that there is some change. It actually means that you're about to do something that is in uncharted territory or out of your comfort zone in some way. And you're just, you know, feeling the vibes right now before you make that decision or before you make that leap. There's going to be a process, stepping stones. You can be calm about it. There's no surprises, but with the Justice card energy, Two of Swords, it can indicate you need to be flexible or make some adjustments on some factors. So for example, if you've got an important appointment or meeting scheduled, there could be a sudden cancellation there or a sudden reschedule. Because we have the Ace of Pentacles, it can be a new date is offered there. So remain flexible, I would say, because there's going to be that cancellation. Some of you may actually have to cancel yourself, as in like cancel plans. You may have to suddenly plot twist because something else more important comes up for you. Okay, so it may be a little bit of a testing time, but you pass. You know, you're fully in command of managing your life effectively. Your sixth house is going to make sure that that's fine. I'm just giving you the little things that perhaps you need to be aware of during this month, because Ten of Swords indicates something ends, but something new begins. And you have that Ace of Pentacles, which means something very fulfilling and something that is actually lucky or fortunate begins for you. Because, of course, anything that is in the resistance position, it goes into the upright there. Now, a lot of you with the Sun energy, this is big awakening energy. So this could be a rude awakening for you to acknowledge that you've been tolerating something for way too long. Something that perhaps hurts you or hinders you in some way. So I would say for some of you, if you've been sitting on the fence of like tolerating something for too long, like a friendship, because we got the Lovers card there, this could be someone that perhaps, you know, you had a lot of feelings for. It doesn't have to be romantic feelings, but you had a lot of care for this person. It could be that the relationship is fractured and you're doing what is right for you to protect yourself. You're distancing yourself from this person. A lot of you with the Hermit energy, I mean, it's in a Scorpio's nature to kind of like withdraw. So this person may see it as ghosting, but you may feel that actually you don't want to deal with their BS, so therefore you're just not going to give your time to it. So I feel a lot of you could actually withdraw into self or stop giving your energy to a person where you just feel like nothing changes. Okay, so it could be the very end of something, you know, like a relationship that you've tolerated for too long, this bad behavior or this cycle repeat. The Ten of Swords is like the end, enough, drawing a line in the sand. And the Two of Swords indicates that you've been sitting on the fence with this. You've been ruminating on it because it's a shame. But you feel like you have to do what is right for you at this time. So if you've been feeling distance from a relationship or a person or even an environment, it could be suddenly you decide to leave an environment and go somewhere else during this time. Because, you know, there's big relocation cards here. But the Sun energy indicates suddenly you gain clarity on a situation that had a question mark. Okay, so you're clear in your intentions, you're prepared. I was just given the word preparation. Okay, you're prepared for this adapting energy, to be flexible. But also I feel something that perhaps you thought was run its course or was coming to an end or you were worried about, suddenly it gets a new lease of life. I feel a lot of you, if you're a business owner, it could be something that you're worried about or something that you're keeping your eye on. Suddenly it starts to flourish. It starts to like have this kind of glow up in some way. The Ace of Pentacles can also indicate that some of you have had like a new idea sitting in the sidelines. It's something that was an epiphany, a realization. And just when you started it, you stopped it for some reason. You had to shelve it. Maybe life just got challenging and a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders there. You return to this, okay? And you endeavor to complete it, because when you do complete this, whatever this is, I feel, yes, there is a sense of investment and feeling proud of yourself that you completed it. But if it's something of an idea, because I'm seeing a light bulb for you right now, especially connected to this card right here. If it's an idea for a business, or it's an idea to expand your business or expand your reach or go for promotion options, or if it's an idea that can put you in the spotlight to be recognized as someone who is destined for the top, share your ideas with the people who matter, because 12th house is all about what matters to you and who matters to you, and you will see advancement opportunities. If you're a business owner and this is you spinning off in a different direction to expand your reach, it is going to bring in monumental success. Ace of Pentacles to a King of Pentacles is a huge financial grow up and a glow up there. I would say it's growing your wealth there. And for some of you, this could also be that you are investing in knowledge of money to invest in different ways. You're focused on growing your wealth in some way, and you're going to be successful, whatever financial strategy that is, even if it's saving a little bit by a little bit. Ace of Pentacles is a seed. It's a small investment. Oh my gosh, I just realized there's a light bulb on that. I mean, is that a light bulb? No, they are actually little figures. It looks like a light bulb there on the side, but it's little like flashes of like figures. Really interesting, because it kind of looks like the alien energy there. I'm just going to show you them side by side. Look at the figure that has been drawn there for the alien, and then we've got all these little pods there. So I would say, like, if you're doing something independent right now, big glow up energy, things starting to expand or further your reach, you're far reaching during this time, you're in the spotlight for success. I mean, these cards together are like big success. For some of you, this could be a big win as well. If you're entering into competitions at this time, I'm not saying everyone goes out and plays a lottery, but there could be some sort of small win that goes on there, and maybe you invest in the right way and it's something that can grow over time. I would also say that if you're involved in a syndicate at work, lottery-wise, or in some sort of competition, this could be a bursary award, or it could be that you are in a group setting collaborating in some way, and you're putting yourself out there to be seen or be taken seriously in a certain role or industry. I would say you get a lot of attention and you receive the award, the bursary, or you win something, or you get recognized in some way. If you want to be in the public eye or in the spotlight there, this is definitely a glow up energy, being seen, and actually something that is sustainable. But ultimately, no matter who you are, this is all about raw energy to keep developing something that is important. We have a wolf on this card, so it's a pathway, a pathfinder. So if you're feeling a bit confused about your path right now, you're going to get clarity. Also, we've got that cat there, so that means independence and looking before you leap. But also, it's about being curious and exploring. I would say this is a great explorative month there for you. But whatever it is, I feel there's something new here that helps you plant roots. So it could be like a new property comes up that you want to move to, or you're thinking about moving to a new area. It could also be that you are migrating your skill sets, and something that perhaps was unfamiliar to you becomes familiar. Even if you're learning new tools, new skill sets, or utilizing, new ways of working, something that was unfamiliar that you need to learn suddenly becomes second nature, like you settle into it. I also feel a lot of you, this is a big research and development month, but also you're improving your focus and mindfulness at this time as well. Now, the first card that came out there, we have the Tower, okay? Tower is a shock energy, so it could be plot twist. This tells me also there is a potential for a conflict an argument in some way that fractures the way that you see somebody. So as I said, if you're sitting on the fence, there may be something that occurs in the month of April that solidifies your decision to never return to that situation, or like, that's it, it's a done deal. You're out there having a glow up, living your best life, or showing that person, that you try to derail me or knock my confidence, but I'm out there and I'm a tower power and it's not going to happen. Okay. Also, I would say with the tower, your 6th house and the 2 of swords, don't spread yourself too thin because you may burn yourself out and you may shock yourself or your body in some way. You want to make sure you're managing stress levels and cortisol levels at this time. I don't see anything negative here, but the alien, which of course is the equivalent of the hermit energy, it's like take quality rest, recharge your batteries, even if it's a temporary time out. It's important, okay? You rejuvenate. Listen to your body at this time. King of Pentacles is all about listening to your body. The world can be won another day. Now, this is a month where there could be some shocks there. You didn't get the World card, so the Tower indicates that perhaps some of you may be surprised by somebody or something this month, and you have to rebuild it, or you have to restart it, or look at it in a certain way. This can be like a chaotic situation as well. I wish you didn't get this card as an outcome energy, but it's there, so I have to address it. This could be that you're managing things, you're keeping it all together, you're holding things together there, but it could be that there is some sort of shocking development that you basically exit, the situation. You are unscathed, you manage to manage it, as it were, but it still shocks you all the same. And the Tower can also indicate that sometimes we have to have a moment of realization, like a shocking truth that makes you feel vulnerable, but actually it kind of transforms everything. So just like this situation that you felt comfortable in, or you were connected to a person or a situation that you feel doesn't resonate with you anymore, or they do something that surprises you, it's like you're shook. You're not allowing it to affect you, but you are growing from this. But it is a realization, like a rude awakening on a situation that promotes growth for you and helps you live your best life. So it could be if you've got an inkling about a person that you feel they don't support your needs, or they haven't got your best interests at heart, they may reveal that to you fully. You may have just had a hunch. Now you get the facts on it, and it actually sets you free. The Tower is always a liberation energy. And I would also say that this is like sudden ideas. This is also an acknowledgement that sometimes when things feel chaotic, that is the biggest indication that you're about to have an upgrade, because you go through a test before, you come out the other side. And you've been tested for a long time and you're coming out the other side for sure. Trust your instincts, your hunches. There's growth there for you. And this is about having faith. The High Priestess is a reprogramming energy as well. So I would say some of you may actually suddenly transform your life during this period. Suddenly decide to shock everyone around you by ending something, or moving somewhere else, or doing something so radically different that surprises everybody. But you're like, intuitively, I got to do what I got to do. So whatever it is for you, it's going to be different for everybody. You really are a force to be reckoned with that card. This is a strength card, having the courage to follow your heart. But logically, you've already done the math on whatever decision it is that you're making, and you're making the right decision for you. You're putting your best foot forward there. The Force card can indicate that some of you, you're locked onto a goal and you're freeing yourself up now so that you can pursue a path of fortune, and you're breaking a pattern to something. So with that Chariot card, it is a victory. It feels like you've done something totally different, or you explored a different way, or you just tried something out and it worked out better. And there may have been a temporary disruption there, but you rose to the challenge and you were flexible. The Chariot card is victory. It means, managing stress levels. It means rising to any challenge and overcoming it. It also indicates conquest, like winning something, a victory where you're motivated to win something or do something that benefits you. You move forward, advance greatly, and stride towards your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and you have that passion and drive. You're definitely leaving something behind here, because Ten of Swords is an end of something. It's really interesting. It's like those roots have become so hardened in some place, something that you felt was familiar. But in order to grow, you got to leave something behind in order to embrace something new. And then you have these wonderful new roots taking place where there's, this kind of flexibility, there are fresh roots there, they're all healthy, and there's so much more to be had on the other side of something. So it's like if you are where you are at right now and you're contemplating something new, but you're kind of like holding on to something that is a structure that kind of like ticks on by and it's kind of working, if you would just try this something new, it may turn out even better than what you have right now, if that makes sense. So that's coming out there. A lot of you, it can be that you're trying a new destination. If you're traveling, for example, it may be that you decide to end going to a certain travel destination and plot twist and go somewhere else. For some of you, it could also be that you move to a new neighborhood, and it may be like a neighborhood that you never imagined you would travel to, for example, or an opportunity to invest in a property or real estate suddenly crops up, and suddenly it's like, I don't want to say chaos, but it suddenly feels like there's a hive of activity and you're like in the motions of having it occur, and it feels like it's a whirlwind, like a mile a minute. You don't want to rush into anything. You want to take your time and ruminate on this. Your 12th house is going to make you do that, and your 6th house is going to make you practical about it so you don't misstep. But at the same time, it can be something that perhaps you didn't factor in that occurs this month, because there is a surprise. I'm not going to like tell you something that's not there. The Tower is a surprise. But whatever it is, 6 of Swords, you're protected. That's why I like to see the Tower with the 6 of Swords, because it means no matter what comes your way that may surprise you, you were ready, because intuitively you already knew it was about to happen, because you have a hunch, you have a psychic knowingness, you actually came to this lifetime with this. But 6 of Swords is not just passing a test. It can be that, you are advancing greater than ever before. It means suddenly an opportunity that advances you to the next stage or helps you unlock a portal. It feels like evolution there, not just on a personal level, but it's an exploration where it's like, let's trial something else. Let's see where it goes. And it goes in the way that you hope for. It actually yields success and better results. Also, for some of you, and I got to give it to you straight, we got the Lover's card there. If you're hoping to find love, I would say some of you, quite by surprise, are going to meet the love of your life. If you do not want to get pregnant and have the capacity to do so, take precautions, because we've got conception here. Okay, so I would say that there is a potential there to have baby on board. For some of you, if you are trying to get pregnant and you've been trying for such a long time, I would say you may be surprised this month that suddenly we have a development there. Also, I would say that conception is kind of the name of the game for you this month, and I feel that's like something taking root and really growing. And I feel a lot of you, it's an idea, or it's a step, a pathway that is developing, or you're trying something out and it just is more successful or better than you ever imagined on the other side. Now, the Hermit can indicate you came with innate knowledge to this lifetime, okay? And you're utilizing that skill set. But also I feel this is something that perhaps is alien to you, that you have to learn. So this could be new technology, a new pathway, a new step, a legality, whatever it is. I feel like you're learning as you go and you're being informed. The Hermit energy is also an energy of taking your spiritual development seriously, okay? So leaning into who you are, what you're about, and what you're downloading from your higher self and your guides, because those intuitive leanings and hunches, Two of Swords, that wolf there is instinct. Some of you want to be more independent in your circumstances, so you may want to go off and do something by yourself. Doesn't mean you don't love the people around you, doesn't mean you don't love spending time, but you may have something you want to do right now, and it's important to you, and it will develop in a way that enriches your circumstances and helps everybody. With the King of Pentacles, for a lot of you, if you're in business, this is wealth. Building of wealth. It can also be saving plans, structures that help you advance in your saving plans. But also, you could have invested in something that suddenly, surprises you, because the Tower doesn't have to be a good or a bad surprise. It's not negative or positive. It's just like you're shook, you're surprised. But because your Two of Swords is there, it's like deep down, are you really surprised? Because Two of Swords means you kind of knew it. You had a hunch, okay? You kind of knew this was going to happen. So with that King of Pentacles, it tells me you're protected, or you kind of have invested in it, whatever it is, that you were very responsible, but you get the best outcome. Now, a lot of you, if you are in a career, as I said, promotion vibes. There could be something talked about that's debated, like it's something developing right now that will be offered to you as an opportunity. And, you know, you're going to deal with that how you deal with it. It's more money. You're going to enjoy the good life there. For some of you, if you are running your own business and it's been a turbulent time and you felt really stuck in limbo, there's a glow up happening here. It may require an extra step, or it may require you launching something or developing something, or trying something out that actually just completely takes off, which is great. For some of you, you may be investing in a car right now, and, you know, there may be a car that you have to really give it a good old try out. Try it out, okay? Bring it for a test spin, because there may be something where you're like, I need to withdraw from that. That's not it. Or you hear a sound. You know, whenever you've got a Two of Swords, it means something that you don't see. It's like you have a hunch, or you have heightened awareness of something else. So, like, it could be that sound takes over. Suddenly you're like, listen to a sound. If you're trying out a car, you're like, what's that sound? Sounds weird. Look into it. Investigate it. If your hunch is like, just sounds a little bit off, don't go that path. That is telling you to take an alternative path there. But you picked the right path. This is such a random monthly reading, so I hope it's going to resonate for some of you out there. I feel a lot of you are very practical. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, but it's like, can you have fun with it? You know, maybe there's something here that you got to go off and do by yourself. Be independent, go traveling independently, or you're working towards some sort of common goal. You have a sense of duty and loyalty to the people around you. And it's like, I mean, this figure is taking off, like on this horse. The horse is about to gallop off somewhere, or, I mean, it's very technological, so it can be that, you know, it's about to fly off somewhere. It's a horse in the air, okay? So it can be something's about to take off or lift off for you, and the ladder is there. It's like you could help people up, or you could have people on board. So you're looking at who's loyal to you, who deserves a place at your success table, who's coming with you. And I feel the universe also wants you to level up and is giving you a helping hand during this period. But I also feel it's like a lifeline. You're anchoring finances, and it's like you got the Midas touch. Whatever it is that you are focused on at this time, it may test you, it may frustrate you, but on the other side of it, it yields such a positive result. Wow, look at that. Your final card, Elder, Evolution. So yes, something is developing here. It says, evolution, time of transitions and new experiences, but you're evolving. And on the other side of that is adventure, more spontaneity, success, money. And I know that sounds like so sort of far-fetched, especially in these times. You know, it's challenging. Don't get me wrong. Two of Swords, Justice card, Six of Swords, you've walked through fire to have this success. You've walked through challenging times to find this groundedness, this peace, and this security and stability. You earned it. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I just heard, as I said, you earned it. My guide pointed at my T and said, you own it. So this is about owning your success and knowing that you deserve this because you work so hard and you've been so tested for it. But you come out the other side and you elevate. There's evolution here in projects, in personal development. And a lot of you may even be getting two things off the ground right now in order to expand your reach. Plant roots here. I feel very excited because it feels like the evolution of something. Even here, it's like DNA. I mean, for some of you, if you're going for results regarding health at this time, there may be a development there that is like with the Six of Swords, you're protected, you pass a test, or, you know, there is some sort of advancement opportunity to help you move further along or manage a symptom if you're dealing with a symptom there. So yeah, I feel this is a time of trying something new that will develop into something that benefits you long term, whatever your focus may be. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune for you. Wow. Now, I'm just going to look back on this reading because I'm not sure now, because I'm scrying at the same time and channeling at the same time. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember what comes out in a reading because I connect to a different vibration, but I'm going to have to just check to see, did I see like a hand in the water, like reaching for something more there? I just put it in the right way up because it's like you're reaching for something and it's like the universe is going to deliver. You've got an Ace of Pentacles. Normally there's a hand from the universe offering a solution, a resource, an opportunity, a pathway, a portal, something that's beneficial, successful, the start of good fortune. This is an alignment with success. It is, you know, some sort of abundant pathway. It's prosperity in its purest form. It feels like you're making an impact in some area of your life, whether it is personal development, money, friendships, environments. It feels like you're making an impact. And I just heard life is for living. So I feel like you get some sort of helping hand or lifeline there. And whatever it is you're reaching for, it's like whatever you want right now, it wants you. And this is the connection point. This is the point where it like sparks to life. It all comes together. And we've also got a flower, fresh new start in some area. Or, for some of you, if this is a relationship, whenever you pick the petals, it ends up with they love me. If you got they love me not. So there's definitely a loving energy there. But fresh new start. Spring is springing if you are in the northern hemisphere. And it can be things are developing for you. But also it can be that something is going to blossom for you, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. It feels like a blossoming is upon you, a glow up. And something is developing into something very healthy for you there. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Scorpio. Thank you so much, and love and light.